Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and light another candle. This one's about to burn out, and got to work on getting a thinner oil. Oh, is that going to take? Anyway, so welcome this evening, everyone. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Sarah. I apologize. Oh, welcome, Recovering Soul. Will you enjoy your evening out? And Recovering Soul, don't worry about my site. I removed the JavaScript. That was probably the culprit. So there are no viruses on my site. It is a Google blog spot, and they are really good about that stuff. Where do I want to put this candle? I'm going to put it right there. So let's see. All right. So welcome, Laura. I said I would be back, and I am back. Did not want to let my buddy down. It took me a bit of time to come on because I wanted to share something with you from Super Power Breathing. And this is the 24th edition. And the PDF I have is the 22nd edition. And the update that's in this edition, which I think some of you would really benefit from. I know I did when I was younger. And so I had to take a photograph with my handy dandy camera, cell phone, all in one, and take that picture. And now trivia night is starting at the bar. Welcome. Welcome, Music Heals Me. Okay, let me take a sip of my Irish moss. Yum. Okay. Oh, where did it go? Oh no, don't tell me. I don't know where my chime is. I have no idea. Where did I put it? Oh no. Oh, there it is. There it is. A handy dandy chime. So let's go ahead and bring in this evening. Welcome all of you into this sacred circle, sacred space. So if we can take a nice deep centering breath. So welcome, welcome. And I do apologize if you hear the MC, although he doesn't seem to be too loud tonight. So I wanted to do something that we haven't done in a while. Thought it would be nice to bring some divine feminine into the house. And speaking of divine feminine, next week, I believe next week, I'm going to have an amazing guest on the show that I'm very excited about. And it's going to be awesome, awesome. But trying to keep it under wraps. Just want to let you know, 1 week from today, hopefully. Just have to firm up the date. So anyway, let's go ahead and shuffle the deck and see what divine feminine we can encounter today. Let me give the deck one more shuffle. I know it's been quite some time since I've done an evening show. Okay, this is a good one. So, all right. So I have two divine feminine today because I'm a superstitious type. You know, you're bringing out your cards, but then there's always going to be that one card that jumps out at you. It's like it's a message that is trying to send you. So the first divine feminine I pulled this evening is Maeve. And Maeve is all about responsibility. And then as I was attempting to put the deck away, The second divine feminine that popped out is Sophia. Sophia, goddess of wisdom. So we have responsibility and we have wisdom. Wisdom and responsibility. They really go hand in hand because with, as we begin to age and as we have more experiences in life, it is our responsibility to take time to learn, to bring into our being, what knowledge and wisdom there is for us. When you go through whatever situation it is that you're going through in your life, and sometimes people say, oh, I keep learning the same lesson over and over and over again. Well, that happens to us because there is this deep well of wisdom that we're being encouraged to tap into. And that wisdom only comes through, acknowledging the lessons that we've learned and then to internalize that lesson. And once we begin to internalize it and act through it, that is what I believe to be wisdom that begins to manifest. Otherwise, it's like, we continue to do the same thing over and over again, bang our head against the wall. And we might be older, but we're not wiser because we're doing the same thing. So there we have Maeve, responsibility. So we have a responsibility to process and internalize the lessons that we're learning in our lives. And when we take responsibility for ourselves and for our actions and for how we interact, react to whatever is happening, it is our responsibility to go within and to help build up that inner sanctum. And then that's when wisdom manifests. Okay, so those are our two peeks at the divine feminine. And the reading I wanted to share with you is from Eckhart Tolle, Stillness Speaks. Stillness Speaks. Okay. And hopefully, please let me know if the sound, extemporaneous sound around me is picking up on the microphone, because it gets kind of loud with trivia night, and I might have to end the session. So anyway, so we're going to read from Eckhart Tolle, Stillness Speaks, and we're going to read from page 40 and 41. The division of life into past, present, and future is mind-made and ultimately illusory. Past and future are thought forms, mental distractions. The past can only be remembered now. What you remember is an event that took place in the now, and you remember it now. The future, when it comes, is the now. So the only thing that is real and the only thing there ever is the now. Welcome, conscious tone. Welcome. To have your attention in the now is not a denial of what is needed in your life. It is recognizing what is primary. Then you can deal with what is secondary with great ease. It is not saying I'm not dealing with things anymore because there is only the now. No. Find what is primary first and make the now into your friend, not your enemy. Acknowledge it, honor it. When the now is the foundation and primary focus of your life, then your life unfolds with ease. So I had a lot of things that I had to do this evening. And, you know, when I think about being in the now, one of the greatest lessons that I've learned is, especially as a mother and having children, you know, when you're in the midst of that mothering zone of being a young mother and mother of young children, and there's a lot of chaos and all, you know, sometimes us mothers were prone to think, oh, I can't wait till the kids grow up. I can't wait till they grow up. Or you're of the mindset that them being little children will never end. It's like, this is what you're used to, and this is what you always have. And then you wake up one day and you realize that they grow up, they move away, they have their own lives. And having a very young child again at home has really, you know, now that I taken that wisdom from when I was a young mother, and now that I'm an older mother, it's like I'm really taking time to practice being in the now. And so when my son asks to go to the library or have a friend over, or let's see, what did we do last night? We played checkers. You know, I'm learning and walking in that wisdom of the now is all that matters. So right now, in that space, stopping and indulging not only him, but myself in that sacredness of that time, and enjoying that now, because there's only now, and there's only now, and there is no past, there is no future. There's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing to go back to. It's all about really embracing the moment and enjoying where you are at this moment. I believe there's sound. Okay, other people are hearing sound. So let's see. I wanted to do something that I haven't done in a good while, and that is to break out. Oh, hold on a second. What I wanted to do next was share from Superpower Breathing by the Braggs for Superpower Health. And as I mentioned before, I didn't have not the MP3, but the PDF for this version. So I'm going to do a screen share. And let's see if I can do this properly. I'm going to share this page. Okay. All right. So this is from page 72 that I wanted to read with you from Superpower Breathing. Let me make sure that I have this right. Whoops. That's like way too big, right? Yeah. That's way too big. Okay. So this is from Superpower Breathing. And this is just to go over some exercises for breathing, because what we're going to move into is one of my favorites and something that I had naturally learned to do on my own as a much younger adult. Okay, so as I mentioned before, you know, most adults are used to breathing just into the upper portion of their chest. Right up there, you can see the cursor. Just enough breath to keep you conscious, to keep you from passing out. But the fact that a lot of people have stiff muscles, tight backs, painful shoulders, stiff necks, people usually don't realize that their body begins to tense up when they're not allowing themselves to truly maximize the available chest and rib cage area. When you're not maximizing breathing that breath, bringing in that breath all the way down into your diaphragm so that your belly expands, you are actually slowly poisoning your muscles and cells because that carbon dioxide is still in there and it's not being replaced with fresh air. So here's an exercise to maximize chest area. You see the little figurine up here of the man. So it says this exercise will help you to maximize the available chest and rib cage area for your lungs to expand and take in more air. Practice several times daily along with other air capacity increasing exercises. Starting position, stand with your arms at your side. Inhale deeply through the nose. Then, while holding your breath for 5 seconds, extend arms forward. So that would be forward, straight in front of you. Now clasp your hands together and then stretch them up high above your head, exhaling quickly and fully through your mouth. Naturally, your upper chest will move upward with this stretch. Now return to starting position and repeat 2 or 3 times. So that's starting with your hands at your side. You inhale deeply through your nose and then hold your breath for 5 seconds and bring your arms forward and stretch them up and then exhale very quickly. Another exercise for lower lungs. And this is an exercise that I had done myself when I began to realize that I was not breathing as deeply as I possibly could and really getting full oxygen in. As you probably heard me mention in one of the earliest videos that I did on Brags, there was a time when I could put myself to sleep anywhere by methodically deep breathing. And this wasn't something that I learned, a parlor trick or a trick anywhere. It was just something naturally that I knew to do with my body. And, as little children, if you ever around little babies, little 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 1-year-olds, maybe even 4-year-olds, you notice that when they breathe nice and deep. Their bellies rise, the bellies sink back down. And then somewhere probably between the ages of 7 and 10 years old, as we start to get yelled at by our parents or teachers or, get in trouble for this or that, and we feel stressed and tense, we start to hold our breath, through fear. And holding the breath is not allowing the proper amount of oxygen to come into the body. So therefore, our diaphragm starts to not be as strong as it could be. And we start breathing more shallow. And that causes us to develop headaches. That shallow breathing can cause your fascia to start restricting. And then when the fascia, which is that very thin layer over your muscles and over your bones, when that starts to restrict, then we start to get knots and nodules and lumps in our muscles, as well as our shoulders can start curving over. So here's a breathing exercise for the lower lungs. And I do encourage you to get yourself a copy of this book, Superpower Breathing for Super Health, High Energy, and Longevity by the Braggs. The lungs' lower regions are the most distant from your windpipe and the most dependent on the breathing activity of the diaphragm. As a result, the lungs' lower regions are the most likely areas to suffer disuse. This exercise is designed to bring more air to these underused areas of the lungs. While lying on the floor on an exercise foam pad, concentrate on your lower lungs. Put the tip of your finger just below your belly button and consider this spot the center of your lower lungs. Okay? Slowly inhale through the nose, a full and total breath. concentrating on filling the lung area beneath your finger first. So basically you're breathing all the way down into your belly and allowing your belly to fill up with air. And then you work your way up, filling up the rest of your lungs. Okay. With practice, you will soon find that you can easily target your breathing in this way. As you inhale, fill your lower lungs first, beneath finger, moving to your familiar upper lungs last. So that means breathe down into your belly, allow that to rise, and then gradually allow your chest to rise. Nice and slow, take your time. After a few days of practice, your skill level in this exercise will noticeably increase, and you will find it easy to aim your breathing to different regions of your lungs. Once you have this ability, practice this exercise while standing or lying at home or at work. You will find that it is both soothing and invigorating, suitable both for before sleep and for energy with tired. Welcome, Doc. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so now we're going to go over to the next page. And let me make sure that that shows up. Okay, so this is the next page. This is deep, slow breathing for promotes relaxed and peaceful sleep. So as I shared in my previous videos, probably about 2 or 3 breathing videos ago, I mentioned that at one point, you know, when I was a small child, probably up until I had children when I was 24 years old, I was able to breathe and just put myself into deep sleep. I would do that. I remember going to Atlanta Hawks basketball game, and at the end of the basketball game, there was a Houdini rap concert. And when I was a teenager, I was not really into rap. Now, looking back, I regret falling asleep at the Houdini concert, but when I was a 15-year-old girl, you couldn't pay me to listen to rap music. And not to mention, we were also in nosebleed section of the stadium. And that was back in the days when you could smoke cigarettes inside the stadium back in like 86, 85. And I was able to, if I made up my mind, I'm going to sleep, I would take a couple of deep breaths, I would be knocked out. And then, of course, as you become an adult and you have children and life becomes, you know, well, life is always stressful, but you start paying attention more to the stress than less to the now. Your breathing becomes more shallow. You forget how to breathe. So here is some ways to help bring you into a nice sleep. So let's read this. It says, millions worldwide suffer from insomnia, bad sleep, and bad sleeping habits. Preparing sensibly for a night's rest, which is ventilated room, firm mattress, is one of the easiest ways to improve your ability to sleep. The following deep breathing exercise relaxes the body and reduces mental stress to prepare for a peaceful, recharging sleep so vital to your health. Lie on your back with your hands at your side, palms down. Close your eyes and quiet your mind as you slowly inhale through your nose to fill your lungs first. As you inhale, raise your arms in a slow circling motion up over your head. Aim to complete your inhalation just as your 2 thumbs touch each other, with arms then resting behind your head. Hold this breath for 10 to 15 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth as you reverse your arm circling motion, bringing arms back to start in position at side. Repeat this exercise several times until relaxed and drowsy. Okay. Another breathing technique you may try when you first get into bed, take a deep breath. Breathe in through your nose and visualize the air moving down to your stomach. As you breathe in again, silently count to 4. Purse your lips and exhale slowly. This time, count silently to 8. Repeat this process 6 to 10 times. The results of this breathing technique are immediate. You will feel your shoulders and arms relaxing. Your chest will feel less constricted, and you will feel less stress and tension. The goal is to relax your mind and let your body unwind and surrender to peaceful sleep. Cultivate habit of deep breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing promotes a more relaxed state and makes the heart's job easier. Take a long, slow, deep breath right now. Visualize the air filling the lower part of your lungs. Do this for 3 minutes every hour during the day and notice the improvement. Okay, so I'm going to stop this presentation. And I would just say to you, what you'll have to do is practice the deep diaphragmatic breathing. Either, I would say on the floor first, just so you can get a feel for it, but by putting your hands there and intentionally and consciously breathing all the way down into your belly, past your diaphragm, what that does is not only is it exercising your lungs, it's exercising your diaphragm. Because trust me, if you're used to shallow breathing, then your diaphragm is going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be tighter, it's going to be tenser, and it's going to be uncomfortable and laborious to do deep breathing. But once you begin to practice breathing down into your diaphragm and do that several times, and every time you think about it, even when you're standing upright, put your hand just above your belly button or just below, and breathe all the way down into your hand to cause that to rise and cause your chest to rise. The more you do that, I guarantee your diaphragm will strengthen and you will be more capable of deep breathing. So then when you're in the bed, number one, you probably should not use the computer, cell phone, tablet for at least 30 minutes before bed. And it's really good to have a good bedtime routine, because once you put that into motion, it's like your body, you have this ritual and your body is like, oh, it's time to get ready for bed. And then it will naturally begin to wind down and you don't have to think about it. You'll be less likely to have to go and grab some sleeping pills. And when you're laying in the bed, when it's winter time, I would encourage you to turn the heat down in the house. If you normally keep your heat at like 68 or 70 degrees, if you can get away with it, turn it down to 60 degrees. Because believe it or not, it's much healthier to sleep in a cooler house than a hotter house that is using artificial heat, whether it's electric, gas, or propane. This artificial heat is going to dry out the atmosphere in the house. You turn it down, it's less likely to dry out the atmosphere. Your body is less likely to get overheated, as well as your esophagus and your throat and your nasal passages and all of that. And if you can deal with it, crack the window a little bit. That's what every night I go over there, I turn the thermostat down to 60 or 55. I crack the window in the bedroom just this much so it's not too freezing. And breathing in that fresh air, you'll be asleep in no time. And as you lay there in the bed, make sure that your pillow is comfortable, you're nice and straight. If you need a pillow underneath your knees, you want to begin to just focus on breathing deep. I wouldn't do the counting because that could be distracting and keep your mind activity going. And what I used to do, what would occur to me naturally, is to breathe. I would envision the breath coming into my body, you know, like following the breath as it came into my nasal passages, going down, and then following it as it came up. And I would do that. And I tell you, one time, all of a sudden, I began to see the breath, and it was literally fire. Not fire that was burning me, but it was like this vital life force energy that I could actually see. And I would see the flames going down my throat, coming back up, and down my throat, and coming back up. And when you begin to intentionally go to bed, not going to bed, oh, running around doing everything and then jump into bed and expect your body to go to sleep, but begin to set a ritual, at least 45 minutes to a half hour before bedtime. So anyway, welcome, Tan. Okay, so what I wanted to do today, something I haven't done in a long while, I wanted to bring out the cards. And today I wanted to just focus on the cosmic deck. Oh, let me show you my bag that I have for my cards. It's a repurposed bag that was a gift from Althea's Imaginarium. So let me bring out. So this is Cosmic Deck of Initiation, which some of you are familiar with. These are a little bit, let's see, I guess okay. That's what's taking up the space. So I got Cosmic Deck of Initiation. So I want to pull cards for 3 people. The first people who put their hands up in the chat room, I'd like to pull a card for you if you like. So go ahead and put me in the chat room, whoever you are. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck. Okay, so I got 1 person. Any more takers? We need 2 more people. Okay, we got 2 people, 1 more person. Okay, all right, so we got Cosmic Deck of Initiation. All right, first up is Sarah. And I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses on. I take my glasses off and on because I only need them for reading. And when I'm looking far away, it kind of hurts my eyes. Okay, Sarah, so go ahead and meditate on the deck as I'm shuffling them for you, Sarah. Okay, so this is for you, Sarah. Oh, wow, okay. For you, Sarah. All right, well, I already have my 3, which is Sarah, Tan, and Doc. All right, for Sarah, I have Initiation. Wow, I think that's a very appropriate card. What do you think, Sarah? Initiation. So let's read what we have for initiation. Okay. Oh, let's see. Let me find initiation in. All right, this is probably going to take me a minute. All right, let's see. Initiation. There it is. Okay, yes, it is. Okay, for you, Sarah, we have initiation. Okay, and I'm sure you can look into this card. Enjoy the symbolism. You know, the Merkaba there, that vehicle that's going to carry you into that next dimension, into that next journey in your life, the next stage. This sort of reminds me of the vehicle on the movie Contact. Okay, so we have initiation, rebirth in spirit. A threshold has been crossed. The light within brightens. Transformation of the spirit self the rites of passage for the soul. A conscious choice has been made. A testing period ended. New purpose within life and reality. The light dawns and shadows are scattered. So this is for you, Sarah. This is inviting you to step into your initiation into this next dimension of your life and all that it has for you. You know, you have the light, you have the shadow, and both of those are needed on this journey because it is through delving deep into your shadows, into your shadow self, where you've been able to meet your metal, you know, to know what you're made of, know what you're capable of enduring, and know how you've been able to bounce back. And every healer, every shaman, if you look up, you know, my favorite artist, Alex Gray's work, I don't know if it's called Initiation, but he has a series, I think it's like 2 or 3 paintings. And it's, you know, the person's, it's out there in my studio. If you look on that video where I'm showing you inside my studio room, you'll see where the person is carrying the caduceus and is like walking up that journey. And I have to find the other picture, because in the next one is where the person is just completely turned inside out, completely dismantled and turned inside out. And that's like through the scattering of your shadow self. And now you're ready to ascend. You know, you've taken that journey into your deepest of depths, and now you're ready to arise and to claim your crown. And with every crown, you know, there comes great responsibility. To me, this is like a crown. Your etheric and light body and physical body, and you are ready. And what do I always say? To make sure to guard that holy trinity of self. Haven't forgotten that. You know, the cards that the goddesses that I pulled earlier, Maeve, which is about responsibility, and Sophia is wisdom. We have a responsibility to ourselves, to the divine, to the entire populace of humanity, to gather ourselves, to do what we need to do to continue to build that inner sanctum. So these are for everyone as well. Responsibility to garnering your wisdom, that knowledge, and converting that knowledge into wisdom. So this is your initiation, Sarah. So I hope you enjoyed that. So let's see who is next. I believe it was Tan. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah says this card is perfect. Says these all fits today's narrative so perfectly. Very good. Very good. Let me shuffle these up. Okay, Tan, go ahead and meditate on the deck as I shuffle the cards for you. I want to get back into doing this. I really enjoy reading the cards with you guys. Okay, so we're going to shuffle the deck, Tan, and see what cosmic deck card of initiation comes up for you. Okay. I think we've had this one for you before, Tan, but it's here again. Okay, so let me find it. Let me find it. All right, let's see. Okay, so we are right back to this one, Tan, and I believe I think this was a card I pulled for you the very first time. Free spirit. So, I just wonder, are you walking in your free spirit, Tam? Or is this an invitation to encourage you to truly let go of whatever it is that's holding you back? And sometimes the holding back isn't necessarily a physical obstacle. It's not necessarily our family or our friends. Sometimes it's ourselves, it's our self-consciousness, it's our need to fit in somewhere other than within that inner sanctum. So free spirit, this is for you, Tan. Okay, so let's read what Barbara has to say about free spirit. Creativity blooms within. New levels of expression are sought for greater richness of reality. To hold within is to deny the light you carry. To share opens you to the abundance of the universe and the gifts you have carried through time. Spoken expression finds receptive outlets. Creation is rich within, and new channels of expression are sought. The physical expression of work done internally, the manifestation of the evolution of spirit. Self-worth expands and intensifies self-expression. So this is free spirit. So Tan, I'm going to offer you this card of free spirit, and this beautiful mandala is encouraging you to inhale deeply and exhale even deeper all of the parts of your being that are keeping you somehow locked down, that are keeping you just from that verge of allowing yourself to release any self-consciousness that might be holding you back. Sometimes we might feel our self-consciousness manifest in our body as a tension in our upper shoulders and our neck. Sometimes we might feel it manifest as sciatica or lower back pain. So this is to invite you, Tan, to really do some deep inner work on where you need to release your self-consciousness that might be holding you back from truly manifesting your free spirit. Okay, all right. So who is next? Let's see. I hope that resonates with you, Tan. And if not, just file it away, and maybe that lesson might be for someone else. And says, she's speechless. Thank you. You are welcome. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Okay, so the next one is Doc. Okay. So Doc, go ahead and meditate on this deck. Okay. So Doc, for you, I have Taurus. Taurus represents the bull. It can represent, moving forward, that bullheadedness, that stubbornness, that like bull in the china shop. So what I would just say to you right off is, where are there places in your life that you're stubbornly holding on to something that you might need to release? Are there places in your life that you're holding on to, things that are causing you to crash and destroy the china in the china shop? There's Taurus for you. So let me go ahead and read what Taurus, zodiacal sign of Taurus. Let me find that. Okay, so here we go. Taurus is the energy of growth, nurturing, and support. It's also the energy of integration, energy with direction. Allow the structure to take its own shape. The unfolding of energy expands. A new structure is established. So this card for you, Doc, is bringing an energy of new growth, of support, of integration into your life. So I see it as inviting you to release all of the things in your life that are holding you back, that are causing you to behave like the bull in the china shop. Because it is those behaviors that keep the energy of growth stunted. It keeps true nurturing and support stunted. It keeps you from truly integrating what you're being called to integrate. So I see a bull, I see its horns, I see the breath, the stubborn breath at the nostrils, because you know, like that bull is like digging in the earth. It's not relenting, it's not willing to back down. But you want to invite that bull in you, that stubbornness in you, to allow yourself to calm down, to breathe, and to release anything that you feel could be holding you back from truly integrating, from truly nurturing what needs to be nurtured. And when you take time to go into that inner sanctum, to build up your inner sanctum, to keep that foundation strong and pure and clear, you're better able to see the areas in your life where you can release what needs to be released so that true energy can really come forward. Okay? So Doc says he's thinking of the conversation that he had with Tan last night. Okay, I'm glad that this speaks to you. All righty. It was really cool to get back. And it's been like a month, I think, since I've really did some readings for everyone. And I look forward to getting back in the groove. I was really missing it. I really enjoy connecting with you because I feel all of your energy, and each and every one of you, you know, that I've gotten to know in certain ways over the last 3 months. You mean something to me. I've learned from you, and we've shared this space, and I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate the new people that are here, and I even appreciate those people who are not participating in the chat room, but I see by the numbers that there are other people here. I appreciate you too as well. And if you ever get up the courage to reach out and say hello to me, I don't bite. As long as I've gotten enough sleep and you didn't wake me up at 3 a.m. in the morning. I don't bite for the most part. So anywho, oh, hi, integrator. Yes, integration is powerful. Yes, it is powerful. And integration is a process where we truly have to be willing to drop, to let go, to release anything that is holding us back from truly integrating. Because we can think, you know, we can talk the talk and think that we're integrating and doing that work, but it's only surface. But, you know, if we can take that time to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, am I Oh, and also, there we go. We have responsibility. We have a responsibility to release those things that are holding back. Oh, and you see in Maeve's card, there is a bull. There is a bull. And being a free spirit doesn't negate our responsibility. Actually, it is a very wise responsibility to allow ourselves to be a free spirit, to allow yourself to truly manifest what it is that you were put on this earth to manifest. And when we allow ourselves to release that self-consciousness, and then we can pick up that responsibility to ourselves, because when we have partners, when we have children, we're all keen on responsibility to everyone else, but we have to take responsibility for ourselves, you know that responsibility. Like, for instance, you don't see many 47-year-old women wearing Hello Kitty, but this makes me happy. This makes me feel good. Now, I could have not put it on because I would have thought, oh, that's silly, and I shouldn't be wearing this. It's like, no, this is what makes me happy. I have a responsibility to make sure I do things, as long as I'm not hurting or negating or doing something that's not appropriate for another person. I have a responsibility to make myself happy, because when I'm happy, I can then be joyous and happy towards my children. I can be there for the older ones who are grown and on their own, and when they call me and reach out to me and need my help, I can be that sounding board and listen to them because I feel good about myself. And for the little one that I still have at home, when I'm happy and taking care of myself, I can better be there for him. And that's all about responsibility and bringing about that wisdom. Okay. So, anywho, thank you very much for being here with me this evening. And let me go ahead and get the chimes out. And so, does if anyone, let me check the chat room. Anyone have any last questions they have for me, or anything that I might be able to answer? Okay, let's see. All right. I'm very good, very, very happy, very thankful that the card readings spoke to each and every one of you. Thank you for that affirmation. It's all about, it's not me, it's us connecting, because we are connected. Everyone says, yeah, everything is connected. We are connected. Yes, that's something that we know, but how do we act it out? And for me, we act it out as being there for each other, being there for each other, and being a witness with each other. All right. So any last final words before we get going? I'm looking down, just so those who are unaware, I'm looking down because I'm looking at the chat in the chat room. All right. So take a nice deep breath. Oh, and before I end, you can check out my website at www.tamuandngina.com. And let's see, what else I want to say. Yeah, you can check me out there. I also have an artist Facebook page. And let's see what else. If you're local in Berks County, Pennsylvania, you can check out my www.mendsoul.com. I'm a licensed massage therapist. I practice craniosacral therapy, which I love, and reflexology, which is my passion. My motto is love your feet and your body will love you. And I also facilitate meditation in my office twice a month. And I think that's it. Oh, and if you want a more in-depth energy card reading, you can contact me through my website on there as well. Chris mentioned, okay, next week, and I just have to get this confirmed, but it should be next week, if not the week after next, but definitely should be next week. I'm going to have a fantastic surprise guest on. I mean, it's going to knock your socks off, this person who is going to come on. And it's going to be amazing. I'm going to have, there's going to be a really good interview. I'm going to have to get beefed up in my knowledge of this person. Yes, drum roll, but I'm not going to say who it is because it's one of those things that you just want to keep it hush hush to the very moment, but it's going to be good. So stay tuned. I am so giddy and so excited about this person. And that's all I can say, because if I say any more, I might accidentally give it away. But this evening's session was amazing. So I want to take a moment to remember our ancestors and remember all those who have transitioned before us, those who are physically related to us. And of course, you know, after I did a DNA test, I realized I got about 4,000 fourth to sixth cousins. And I even had cousins that I was friends with on Facebook and didn't realize that we were actually related till after I did the DNA test. So, you know, we really are all physically, genetically, DNA connected to us way, way back or what have you, energetically and spiritually connected on that, you know, the great web that connects the universe, connects everything. I guess they call them super strings. I don't know. But let's take a moment to remember our ancestors and all those who have transitioned before us, whether physically, by blood related, or spiritually related, and by virtue of being humans. Because it is on their backs upon which we stand. I wish you peace and great bliss. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.